Harry, how did you use media technologies in the production, research, planning and evaluation stages?
There are a variety of ways we use technology throughout our coursework. The cameras we used to record our footage were high quality HD professional cameras, and here's a picture of Josh using cameras at MTV. This was really handy as it meant that we could zoom in and out and focus on particular instruments throughout our video, gaining the shots that we needed in order to create what we felt was a professional and decent quality video. To edit our footage, we used Final Cut Express. First of all, we imported our footage into this software, and then we organised it into bins, as you can see here, as we felt this was a good and effective way of organising our shots, so we knew where everything was, so when we needed it, we could go and find it. We then began putting together our timeline of shots. It included a variety of effects such as dip to colour, cross dissolves, cross fades, as we felt this gave our video a more professional edge. We then obviously laid the sound underneath, importing that from a separate audio track, and then we continued putting together our video. We also used Photoshop to create our digipack and our advert. As you can see, this is the front cover of a digipack. We used this as it was a great tool for editing our photos. So originally this was a coloured photo, which we then took the colour out, made black and white and added a glowing effect, as you can see here, and incorporated our own band logo to give the band some identity. This was a really good piece of software as it enabled us to create a more professional digipack and advert as a result. We then moved on and used technology such as Blogger, as you can see here. So Blogger was a great piece of software which we could use to basically track our progress throughout the coursework. So research and planning, all sort of the pieces of information we needed to have in order to be able to create our video in effect, and as well as digipack. So here is some research about digipack artwork that I had done just to get an idea and understand the concept of digipacks, as well as looking at fonts that we could use for our advert. We could also track sort of our progress via sort of shot lists, so we knew what type of shots we needed when we needed it on the day. We also used YouTube. This was a great help as it meant that we could go and find a lot of videos relating to our artist and gain a lot more information about our target audience as a result. Facebook was a key to our success in this coursework as it meant that we could contact a variety of people and effectively and quickly. This is how we contacted our artist. This is also how we contacted MTV in order to set up a meeting so we could go and propose our video to them. This was really handy as it meant we could easily stay in contact with one another, and if there was any problems we could easily let the other person who we were contacting know what the situation was. For example, if we needed to talk to James about something to do with meeting up in preparation for the video, we could do so via Facebook. SurveyMonkey was really good as well. That also helped us to get some great audience feedback and also prepare us for the type of audience we were dealing with. So it gave us some good initial ideas about how we would be appealing to a certain target audience. Prezi was really good as well. This helped us to nail down some ideas. It was a really good planning tool in the form of mind maps, which could also look back on and have a look when we needed to at relevant stages of our coursework. For example, we could jot down ideas to do of our music video and then look back at them at a later date. Other sites that we used include DaFont. This was really good because it enabled us to find good quality fonts that we could use for, say, our digipack and our advert. So here we've got our plane crash font that we used, and this was really good site. It's enabled us to be creative with the type of fonts we wanted to use. I also used Gicka, which was a good photo, basically it's a photos in motion, so I could lay certain photos next to each other and they would flip around in a presentation rather than just having rows of photos in one post on my blog. This was a good way of making it more creative. Another thing that I used was Slide Rocket. This was really handy as well. It's just another creative way of creating, say, a presentation or producing a piece of work. For example, I did music video conventions with this piece of software.
Harry, continue.
Another piece of technology that we used was smartphones. So I used my iPhone to take lots of photos when we were at MTV and for photos such as the digipack. I also used my iPad, as this was great for taking notes when we had our meeting at MTV. It was a good place to go and take down lots of information that we needed at the time. We also, when we were at MTV, used a vision mixer, so we were almost cutting our shots together while we were at MTV. This was really handy as it was enabled us to see the types of shots we were getting firsthand, and also managed to be able to plan our video around this. Another piece of technology that we used was an external hard drive. We took 2 of these to MTV to basically store our footage on after it had been captured, and then we would plug it into the iMac, and that's how we would access our footage.